you just start off by telling me, I mean, you've had quite the experiences moving up through different companies and moving through the telecommunications world. So tell me, what drove you? You're obviously at a very high level of success right now, and how did you get to this point?
Well, I've been very fortunate in my career that I started in telecommunications and technology and software back in the late 70s, before it was cool. And it was out in California, so it was with a startup company. So I learned about entrepreneurism right after graduating from college. And over the years, over the 30 years I've been in business, I've had the opportunity to work in the wireless industry, to work for technology companies, great companies like Microsoft. I've run startup companies, I've taken companies public, and I've run public companies. So today, Frontier Communications is a Fortune 500 company. We are in 27 states. We serve over 5,000 communities in rural parts of the United States, and we provide phone service, high-speed internet service, and video service to those communities. So I'm very blessed in my career.
Okay, so I know you started out in your first job out of college. You were there for about 12 years before you already moved up to a management position, which is your second job. So can you tell me a little bit about, and just comment on what it was like at such an early time being a woman in a predominantly male industry and male field?
Well, when I graduated from college in 1977, women were entering the workforce, but we still had to enter at an administrative level. You couldn't enter into a management level even with a college degree. So I was very used to working in an industry where the executives of the company and the management of the company was very male-dominated. But I also knew that I could add value and deliver for customers in the businesses that I worked in. And that's how I really created value for the first company I worked for 12 years. And I started as the accounts receivable supervisor at that company. And when I left, I was running the United States, the Canadian, and the European operations. So I was able to move up and get more and more experience and be able to apply that experience to success for the company.
So what kind of challenges did you face then as you moved up? And obviously you kept moving up very quickly. What kind of challenges did you face both as an individual just working their way up to the top and as a woman in a predominantly male field? Well,
I think, career's important to me, and it always has been in my career. I have a terrific husband who I've been married to. It'll be 35 years this year. And as a working mom and a wife, I couldn't have done it on my own. I really needed that support at home. And my husband was a Mr. Mom in the 80s before the movie even came out. And he really was my best friend and my best supporter. And I've raised two wonderful sons who are now 25 and 27, gainfully employed and on their own. And I had to make a lot of trade-offs. I think when you're in business and you move into executive positions, especially as a woman, you have to make those trade-offs, but you also have to have the support at home in order to make that work. And I was very lucky that I did have that support.
Okay, so what would you say is the secret to your success?
Well, I wish there was a silver bullet on secrets to success, but I really believe that it's about focusing on customers, understanding what their needs are, making sure that you go the extra mile and give 150% to serve customers and to delight them every single day, and to build a culture of terrific employees who are athletes, who have that passion for the customer. Then you're unstoppable.
Okay, and it seems as though a trend throughout your career has been really forward thinking. Can you comment on that? And just looking forward into new technologies, new industries, and ways to expand as well as improve your business. Can you comment on how that's kind of taken shape over time?
Well, I think we all look at the job choices that we make as an opportunity on a journey for a career. I made a decision very early on that I wanted to be in fast-moving, fast-growth industries that have a lot of change. Because change doesn't intimidate me, change charges me. It really helps me give my personal best, because you're never complacent. You always have to continuously improve and be better. So the way I look at it is I chose different fields that would challenge me and help me learn and make me better as a leader. And today, in running Frontier Communications, I've been able to take that experience over the years and apply it to this business as well, in a very changing environment, even for the telecommunications industry.
With the new political changes coming forth very soon, do you think that any changes within the government as far as communications, it's been a hot topic right now, do you think that that'll have any effect whatsoever on your experiences and your industry and Frontier as a whole?
Well, Frontier Communications has been in a regulated industry since the beginning of the company, and the company's been around almost 100 years. So we're used to being active in the political process, whether that's at a federal level, a state level, or a local level. And I think it's important that we remind ourselves that communication services are critical to the success of businesses, and it's critical for connectivity for individuals and consumers. So we don't take that lightly. But we also know we're in a very competitive industry, so we try to educate the political members of either Congress, the Federal Communications Commission, or local leadership in our states of the ability to let the marketplace work. Because when the marketplace works, we can invest and we can deliver more products and services to the customer.
Okay, so for you personally, this is the 4th year that you have been named to Fortune magazine's top 50 most powerful women in business. Can you tell me what it was like this time when you found out, and what was your reaction this year?
Well, I was excited and honored to be named to the Fortune 50 Most Powerful Women list for several years in a row. This year was actually extra special for me because my older sister, Denise Morrison, was named to that 50 Most Powerful Women's list too. She's just been promoted to CEO of Campbell Soup. So Denise and I are 2 of 18 women that run Fortune 500 companies in the United States, and we're sisters. So it was a very special year for both of us.
Wow. And any connection there as to how you both managed to climb to such levels of success? And is this what you had in mind at all growing up, the 2 of you, that you would be moving up in business? Or
well, Denise and I are very close. We're only 13 months apart, so we grew up together. And my parents raised us to make sure that education was the most important thing. Get a great education. It gives you freedom and flexibility to do anything you want to do. They also required us to give back when we were very young. So we would raise money for different charities, even when we were in junior high and high school. And we were also very creative and innovative in the things that we did. My father, who was an executive, also required us to do business plans on things that were important to us. So I remember we had to do a business plan to get our ears pierced when we were young, and explain the reason why that would be a good thing for us to do. So he sort of built in some basic business attributes for both Denise and I when we were growing up. And my mom was very successful too. She wasn't just a stay-at-home mom, she was a real estate agent. So she worked part-time but worked it around the family. So we had great role models to say you can do what you want to do, you can have a family and still be successful in business. And also you can be a woman and be feminine and still be successful.
So you talked a bit about how education and that was really ingrained in you from a young age. So what would you say now to the current levels of unemployment is a huge issue, again, obviously right now. So what would you say to those people who are struggling to find jobs? Would you have any advice for them?
I think that it is a tough time economically for a lot of young people that are graduating from either high school or college, trying to get their first step in their career. And I know when I graduated back in the 70s, the economy was not good either. The first job I took out of college was a secretarial job. It wasn't what I had in mind, but I felt if I get work experience and I can prove to any company that I work for that I can do more, I would have an opportunity to move up. Or I could take that work experience and go someplace else and be able to move up. So I would say get a job, no matter what it is. It will help teach you how to be better in the workforce, how to work with others, how to create value in the work product that you deliver, and it'll give you at least a starting point to take your career to the next level.
Okay, and what do you see for the future right now, the immediate future for Frontier Communications? going forth from this point on?
Well, we're very excited at Frontier Communications in the new products and services that we're delivering across our markets. One of the main products, of course, is broadband, not just for consumers in the home, which we are delivering. We built 476,000 new households for broadband last year in rural America, and we'll do several 100,000 again this year. So we're very excited that we're giving broadband access to many homes around the country that didn't have access in the past. In addition to that, though, we're actually delivering very large pipes of data capability to businesses. So if you're a small business, for example, here in Elkhart, Indiana, you can have the exact same telecommunications capacity as if you were a small business in Chicago or in Indianapolis. So our commitment to our communities is to give you the same services no matter where you live. And if you choose to live in a rural community for your lifestyle or your livelihood, you should have great telecommunication services. So you will see us deliver not just great products for voice, video, and data, but also new products and services. We've just announced a deal with AT&T Mobility, and we'll be delivering wireless phone service into all of our markets starting the second half of this year, and more over-the-top streaming video services on the internet. So there's a lot more to come.
Okay. And just last little bit here, can you comment on the $10,000 donation to the RV Hall of Fame? Why was this important to you and the company?
Well, we donated $10,000 to the RV Hall of Fame because we know for Elkhart, Indiana, the RV community is an important fabric of this community. And at Frontier, we believe in local engagement, of being involved and active in our communities in the areas that are important and the nuances for those specific communities. And when we think about RVs, to me, it's not just a business, it's a lifestyle. And we wanted to promote that lifestyle and keep alive the history of that lifestyle because it's so American in the United States. So to be able to help this museum keep that alive and to thrive was important to Frontier, and I know it's also important for the community.